Miles Morales is not Spider-Man. If he were Spider-Man, you wouldn't have to keep telling us. Also, Yellow Flash is a sucker who bought Twitter Blue. Two things can be true at the same time. Let's get the easy one out the way. If you pay for Twitter Blue, you're a fool. The whole point of the blue checkmark was first to prove that you were who you said you were. Then it became about clout, about proving that the powers that be at Twitter liked you enough to give you the checkmark. But if you're paying for it, you have no clout. You just look silly bragging about paying $100 a year to rim phony Stark's ass. It's like listening to someone brag about paying for sex. Oh look, you won't pay $8 to bone a prostitute? No, women want to fuck me for free. But hey, if you want to buy that check mark because it makes you feel special, go ahead and toss Elon salad. Bring some dressing, you're gonna need it. Now for the easier part. Miles Morales isn't Spider-Man. How do I know? Because you call him Miles Morales and not Spider-Man. Miles has been around for a little over 10 years. He's the pinnacle of Tolkien characters, and the proof lies in him being completely unremarkable. In Spider-Man's first 10 years, we got most of the major stories he's known for, the Green Goblin saga, the death of Gwen Stacy, the Sinister Six, and so on. In Miles' 10 years, we've got... what? Honestly, what are his major story arcs? I'm a comic book fan. I know the important moments in plenty of character stories I've never read. I don't know any of his, despite people talking about Miles constantly. What are his major story arcs? What are his character-defining moments? Hell, what is his character? He's been around for 10 years. What defines him? He's got nothing. He's such a blank slate that Marvel Comics did a What If series where Miles took on different characters' names. What if Miles was Captain America? What if Miles was Thor? And if you got bored with that, you could always read his regular book, What If Miles Was Spider-Man? If you want to understand who Miles is as a character, take Peter Parker, give him a tan, cut his hair, take away all of his problems, and most of his intelligence. Now you have Miles Morales. We've been told that Miles was created so black kids could see themselves in Spider-Man, because it's just impossible to identify with the character covered from head to toe. The whole point was that he could be anyone under the mask, but apparently, he literally has to look like you when he takes off the mask for you to find him relatable. And what are we supposed to find relatable? His race. Miles is half black, half Puerto Rican, so he's basically black. That's it. There's nothing else to his character, and that's the difference between him and Spider-Man. Peter is defined by his character. Miles is defined by his race. Peter is defined by who he is. Miles is defined by what he is. That's the difference, and that's why Miles isn't Spider-Man. Spider-Man is the result of Peter's actions and character, an expression of who he is as a person based on his life experiences. They are one in the same, Peter and Spider-Man. Peter is Spider-Man. Miles, on the other hand, is simply borrowing the name. He's not defining or redefining anything. He's not even living up to the legacy. He's simply using the name Spider-Man for pretend clout, like a Marvel version of a blue check mark. Now, he doesn't have to be that way. There's nothing stopping Marvel from giving Miles an actual defining characteristic, something that makes him unique and interesting, something not tied to his race, but to who he is as a person. It could be something as simple as Miles wanting to get out from under Spider-Man's shadow and become his own man. But you can't do that if you basically keep making him Peter darker. This is why his comics have tanked, and why every adaptation that includes him actually has to create a character arc for him, and yet they still fall into the trope of Miles being great drink Spider-Man. You wanted McDonald's, instead you got your mama's hamburger. And so you're going to keep seeing this nonsense of people saying, Miles Morales is Spider-Man, because there's nothing actually proving he's Spider-Man. If you have to keep telling people this, then it isn't true. This is, by the way, the core problem with palette swapping characters. We know who the real character is, and we know this tokenized version is only there to check a box. That doesn't mean there aren't people who genuinely like the character. There are plenty of legit Miles Morales fans. It just means that there's no substance to the character because the only thing that makes him important is what he looks like. Make Miles his own man. Give him his own identity. He can still have the spider powers. Just let him be his own character. He doesn't have to be called Spider-Man for people to relate to him. As I said years ago, Spider-Man is iconic. We know who he is, and it's not Miles Morales. Let Miles be his own person. Give him an actual character with actual events that define who he is as a person, and he will be accepted for the unique individual that he is. But he will never, and I mean ever, be Spider-Man. But what do I know? I'm just some guy.